Richard Branson says, business is like a bus. There's always another one coming. Welcome to Business Debut, where we're going to train you on how to start a business, scale a business, and affect the community. This will be on Wema TV, the voice of hope. My name is Anthony Njoroge Jenga. Welcome to Business Debut. My name is Anthony Njoroge Jenga. I'm your host, and I'll be presenting and discussing with you on various business opportunities. The show will be coming every Tuesday morning, and we look forward to working with you and training. I'm the CEO of TMX Global. We're a courier and logistic company. I'm also a director consultant with BNI. What does BNI mean? We help people grow their business through networking and creating business opportunities. I'm also a consultant who helps young people grow their businesses. I've been in business for the last 19 years, so I've made mistakes. I've learned so much, and I'd like to learn with you and also share with you how you can be able to avoid those mistakes. They usually say, if you want to, you can either go through the exercise or you can learn from people who've been there before you. So I run a courier company called TMX Global. We're a courier logistics company. I also am involved in freight forwarding, where we are also venturing into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And I also done a book called Essentials of Relationship Marketing and Who's in Your Room. So today, what do we want to discuss? We want to discuss how do you start a business? Everybody wants to start a side hustle. But then the thing is, what do you want to do? You look at a business opportunity, that's one. You are passionate about something, that's two. Or you have gone through an experience in your life, and that could probably be also a business opportunity. So based on that, what you find is that you have to do research, depending on how you study. Like for me, I was working for a courier company called TNT, which is now FedEx. And I saw a business opportunity, so I started developing an idea based on that business opportunity. So what I did research to see whether there's an opportunity in the local courier business, because they were doing international and I was doing local. So there was an opportunity in the local market. At that time, there were only 2 or 3 courier companies that were doing that. So what did I do? I gathered a few of my friends and we did research to see whether there's actual opportunity. Established what the licenses you need to do, what are the licenses, how do you start, what's the office location, what are the cost things. So I did a short, small cash flow just to understand. Then that's where I started. Then I looked at, with that, I was able to establish that, wow, how much money do I need to start this business? And I realized I didn't have the cash. So what did I do? I started looking for other business partners who we can work with to scale the business. And that's why I rushed through, looked for a couple of people. So even you in your business, for example, if it's a consultancy, you don't need to look for funds. If you're running an NGO, you may not need to look for funds. If you're running a salon business, for example, you may need to look for funds and also look at the location. So depending on which business you are in, it informs you on how to move forward. Now from there, there's something we usually say is minimum viable project. You test the business. You look at your competition, who are doing what you're doing. So why is the gap? That's very key. And once you do that, then you're able to establish the opportunity. Once you establish the opportunity, then you move. Remember, you have to stay as positive as possible. One of the things I've learned, like for example, when I was starting my business, there's one friend of mine who we used to work together, and he told me when you leave employment, you're going to get this account. Can I inform you, even to date, I've never got that account. How are you going to survive after you step out into the business world? So it's important to have a very small, short cash flow. If you're not able to do that, get an expert. The lucky thing was I'm an accountant, so I had that little background. So once you understand the business based on the cash flows, now you see what are the gaps. For example, if you're going to need an office, how much will it cost? Right now, with the corona issue, people are working from home, so you may not need an office. You may probably just look at your rent. But then, if you're going to need employees, then how many would you need to start with? For example, when I started my business, I got 2 riders, 1 rider and 2 motorbikes. The reason was that because I got a client who I needed to do deliveries for, so I needed 2 riders. So we quickly got a motorbike. So in my cash flow, I provided for the 2 motorbikes and 2 riders. Now, once you understand the costings of your business, then it's easy to know what you need to do. So I realized I needed money upfront to start a business. Why? Because I needed a license from CCK. I needed to get to have an office. I needed to have an employee. So I knew I needed some cash. So what did I do? I now realized with that, I need to look for partners. So I started now looking for partners. Why? Because I needed to fund the business. So that's important. But if you're in a business where you don't need partners, for example, it's a consultancy, or maybe you're a doctor, you don't need a partner. All you need to do is just get an office or start off somewhere else. The other thing you could do, if you really are passionate about business, it's important to invest in learning, especially if you go into a business which you don't know. It's important to learn, read as much as you can. Now with the information age, information is all over the place. You have information on YouTube, on Google, you can read books and learn. But again, if it's a business that you don't know, again, it's important to probably focus on a mentor, or go into what we say is you go into internship program. Ask somebody where you can fix yourself in their place. Don't ask for money. Why? Because then you learn how the business runs, and you're able to understand the ropes in that business. And that's basically it. But there's some businesses that you don't need cash at all. For example, if you're running an insurance broker, you don't need to start with an office. All you need to do is to start hunting for business. And you get business clients, you start getting your commissions. So, but the thing is, it's important to understand the things that you need to do beforehand. Once you understand the scale, once you understand the people you're working with, then it's easy to go to the next level. Now, from there, the other thing is, the one thing you must have as a business person is positive attitude. Because if you don't have that, then you remember business sometimes can be very difficult. So you'll get to a place where sometimes things are really thick. The only thing that will keep you going is a vision you had for the business initially. Like, for example, I have never stopped wanting to get the business into 200 countries. I have a vision for a global business. To date, 19 years later, I haven't got there yet, but I still want to keep pushing. So I keep looking for opportunities to scale the business into the global market. So what's your vision? So the vision is what will keep you going. Yeah. So plan, know your business, know who you're going to work with, look at what are the business opportunities, and then jump. Now, when you jump, remember, as a business person, you must keep your numbers. Numbers are key. Why do you have to have numbers? And goals are important, because when you have numbers and goals, you are working towards something. You're not working in the dark, doing things haphazardly. You're saying, in the first 2 months, I want to be able to have done this. If, for example, in real estate, I want to have first sold 2 houses or 3 houses or 4 houses. So if you don't, then you're able to adjust yourself effectively. But if you just start with no plan, then you realize that anywhere you stop, it's okay. But if you have a plan and you know where you're going, then it's easy to be able to know whether you're achieving your targets. One of the other things that I realized that it's important to also have a mentor, somebody who you're accountable to. Because if you're just doing things on your own and you don't have people you're accountable to, then you can do things haphazardly. So as a business person, those are things that you need to be careful about. The other thing about business, and this is something that people make mistakes as you're starting a business, is how do I fund my business? That is key. And one of the things that you need to do as a business person before you start is to know, how will I get the funds? Will I get the funds from friends and family? Because usually what we say is it's easier to get your first chunk of money from friends and family. Why? Because they know you, and sometimes they can allow you to make mistakes. So that's the first thing. You can probably get funding from friends and family. Like, for example, for me, I got money from my savings. Yeah, I'd saved some money with the cooperative, so I took some money from the cooperative to start the business, and of course from partnerships. The other thing you could fund your business is looking at private equity. If it's a big business, for example, if you want to start a bank or an insurance company, it's a big business. You'll not have, because like now, for example, for an insurance company, there's a limit. The insurance commission probably asks you to raise 50 million. You don't have 50 million. What do you need to do? You need to find private equity companies who can work with you. And of course, one of the things they'll want to know is whether you have experience. So there's management and there's funding. So where will you get the funds from? So it's very clear. So you could probably get equity funding, or again, you could also have internal funding. For example, if it's a company that you are buying into, a company like, for example, I have a friend of mine who was being sold a company where he was the managing director and they wanted to sell off. So him as a CEO, he was looking at how can I buy that business off from the shareholders. So what you need to do is internal funding, and you look maybe now for credit from a bank to help you scale the business. So there are things you need to look at. And then of course the one that people, it's very easy to do is to get a loan. But what we usually say for startup, never go for a loan. Why? Because the numbers are crazy. The first 3 years, you probably will not even make any money. So you'll go into problems from the word go if you start borrowing money. So the one thing you must avoid as a startup is to borrow. Don't borrow money. Start with either your private equity, start from friends and families, look for partners who will invest in your business. That is easy. Or you start with your own money. That's the best way to start a business. Avoid loans as much as possible. Even today, even our government is struggling because of not paying loans. So avoid as much as possible. Maybe in the third year, you can probably think of borrowing. But in the first 2 years of business, it's usually, I do not encourage anyone to borrow money. Great. So from there on now, it's to look at how scaling the business. I mean, you have thought through that whole process. Now is to start the business. The one thing that any business person must do, of course, you must hit the ground running. You must marketing. Marketing is key. And for example, in my business, I was the one who's doing marketing. Even today, I still do the marketing. I need to look for business. And that you cannot avoid as an owner of the business. So if you can't do it, train. Go back to learn on how to sell. But remember what people look at. People buy into you, not even the business. So the way you scale your business, the way you market your business is based on the dream you have and the values that you probably believe in. And those are things that will be training you as you go along. Thank you, and have a great day. This is Business Debut with Anthony Njoroge Jenga.
Wema TV, the voice of hope.